Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
This is your host, Alicia DeBrell from Insight Media. Today's guest is Hosss Pratt, author of The Listing Boss, the definitive blueprint for real estate success. His book has already become a #1 international bestseller. Hosss helps real estate agents reach success by teaching the 12 essentials that help them break down barriers and yield massive results. So, without further ado, I want to welcome Hosss Pratt to the show. Hi, Hosss.
Hi, Alicia. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me.
We're glad to have you. It's a privilege. So can you tell me just a little bit more about yourself and your business experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up in Northwest Missouri working on a dairy farm. I barely made it through high school, didn't go to college, but I was always had the entrepreneur gene in me, I guess I would say. So I started my first business at age 16, Pratt Lawns. It's still in business today, 20 years later. My brother runs it now, but I started my first business in high school. My business experience comes from that, from always wanting to run my own business, to be able to control my own destiny, and I've always had passion for it. And so I did that, started Pratt Lawns in high school. I was fortunate enough to have a mentor. The gentleman was a millionaire. His family invented the hay baler. He took me under his wing and he said, "Great job, you started a business, and but now it's time to move." And he said, "We need to move." And I said, "Why?" He goes, "Because you can make $100,000 a year here in Missouri, but you can make $1 million a year in Dallas, Texas." I said, "Why Dallas?" And he goes, "Because you belong there." So long story short, we loaded up on an airplane, took me on my first airplane ride. We flew to Dallas. This was in August, and we drove around, and I made the decision to move here. And so he goes, "What's the date?" And I set the date, and it was November 15th of 2001, and I moved to Dallas. Didn't know a soul here, and I came here to start a business, to come to a bigger marketplace, a place that the opportunity was abundant. And I got into sales in Dallas. And so I got into real estate, and I built my real estate business. And I did that for many years. I know we'll get more into the details on that, but I've been in real estate since my early 20s. And here I am today. I'm 35. Since then, I've built that real estate business and sold it, and been on the road doing seminars and writing books and everything else ever since, and helping other agents succeed and helping them build the businesses and helping them learn the distinctions that I've learned on that path.
Nice. So you're teaching from your past experience.
That's right. Yep. And that was the third piece of advice that my mentor said. He said, when I got into real estate, he said, and I succeeded in real estate in a market where I didn't know anybody. So the reason I got into coaching and training was because I was listing 30 homes a month, and I was in my early 20s in a brand new market, and people want to know how I was doing it. And so that fueled my passion for training and coaching other people to teach them what I've done.
Makes sense. So tell me, I want to talk about your book, The Listing Boss. What was behind you writing this book? Was it just to teach people? What was behind it? What was the drive?
Alicia, when I first got into real estate, I was in a market where I didn't know anybody. I got in, and I literally, my first 6 months, I lost everything. I blew $50,000. I made all the mistakes in the world. It was brutal. I mean, it was tough. And so, part of me writing the book was that experience was like, well, I want to make sure this happens to nobody else. I want them to learn from my mistakes and learn what I have done and how to avoid these mistakes. And from that experience, the book was born. And I always wanted from the beginning to put my lessons in a book or a manual, so to speak, so I can teach other people how to avoid the same mistakes. And so Listing Boss is the brainchild of that. It's the lessons that I use not only to build my own successful real estate business, but through training and coaching thousands of agents all around the world, I've learned a lot. And so I put the best strategies, methods, and lessons in that book. And so literally somebody asked me the other day, they said, "Hosss, how long did it take you to write Listing Boss?" I said, "Well, it took me 10 years of lessons, and it took me a year of of work to write it." And that's really what it is. There's a lot of meat and potatoes in that book. It's jam-packed. I didn't want to waste the reader's time. I wanted to give them bullet points, the 12 essentials, the most important 12 pillars in real estate success, and that were tried and true. And that's what the book is about. And the success of the book, I think, has spoke to that. I think that's, that the industry was craving a book that just laid it all out there for them, that any agent could follow and any agent could succeed if they did follow.
Okay, that brings me to my next question. When a real estate, picks up this book and reads it, what should they walk away with?
They're going to be inspired. They're going to have the models. They're going to have the tools, and they're going to have the blueprint to succeed. And it literally will come down to their decision to follow that blueprint of them taking massive action. In the book, I break down the 4 pillars are mindset, marketing, systems, and conversion. And I really get into these 4 pillars. And mindset's a big part of it. Because I know that for me to help any agent grow, just like my mentors did for me, they had to change the way that I think. My current level of thinking is not the level of thinking that it needs to be at the level that I want to be. And I believe that in real estate, that's the first key to unlocking any agent's success is beginning by changing the way that they think. And the book does a great job of that, is what the readers have said.
That actually, you just kind of went right into my next question, which is what has been the feedback?
The feedback from the readers, on Amazon, we have tons of 5-star reviews. It's been, the feedback has just been off the charts. And the feedback has been, I've taken a complex process, a complex industry, and simplified it in a way that anybody could follow, and laying out those step-by-steps and not holding back on the content. Inside the book, Listing Boss, and the resources alone, it has a business plan included in it, and all sorts of different goal setting tools and accountability tools and tracking and things to help you put more signs in the ground. So there's a lot of other additional tools and resources. When I wrote the book, I wanted to write it for a couple different ways, right? The reader who just wants the bullet points, just wants to know the meat, right? Just maybe they don't have the time to read it. So at the end of each chapter, I give the most important keys to success that every agent must follow. And that people have really liked that because it's been a good review. If they read the book, they can always go back and they can look at the keys to success that I outline at the end of each chapter. And then I give them actions to take. Massive action is really, really important for any agent to grow their business, to take massive action on a daily basis. And so in the book, at the end of each chapter, I give the reader actions to take to implement and execute the lessons that they just learned.
So tell me this, how does it feel to be a #1 international best-selling author with a best-selling book? That's incredible.
It feels awesome, right? It feels incredible. I wrote the book because I wanted it to obviously become a bestseller. I thought that it would, because I thought the book was pretty good. I mean, I thought that I poured my heart and soul into it. And typically I've learned that if I do that, then I don't have to worry about the rest. The marketplace will do the rest. And it did in this book. It quickly shot up to the international bestseller. We beat books like Gary Keller's Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, which is a lot of agents consider the Bible of real estate. And it's helped a lot of agents. And that's the bestseller is obviously an amazing accomplishment. And I'm very proud of that. And I'm proud of the book, and I'm proud of the achievement that it's had.
You should be. That's a great notch on the belt. So do you see this book as a tool for your coaching business?
Yeah. So the book was written, and I'll give you a quick story on this. So I wrote the book, and whenever I was on the road back in 2007, 8, 9, 10, I was on the road. I've done over 1,000 seminars. And in that process, I learned what agents were missing. People think they want coaching. An agent thinks that they want coaching to grow their business. But I saw that agents needed models to follow. And there weren't very many models in the industry, so to speak, that any agent could follow. And so of having a proven model is important to every coaching business, right? To coach on the model. If I didn't have a model, or if I didn't have a book, it's hard to have a coaching business, right? Because what are you coaching to? Or, if you don't have a product, what are you coaching to? And so this book is literally the framework. It's the foundation for our coaching. I tell everybody before they get into our coaching relationship with us, I tell them, I say, look, you got to read the book, because the book is the most important parts of coaching. And we're going to help you take these 12 essentials and 10X them through our coaching. So the book has been a huge part for the coaching organization, for our clients. And I'll tell you this, Alicia, our coaching organization was an important part in writing the book. Everything that I produce and everything that I create, I test it. And I have clients in all 50 states all around the world. And so a lot of the things in the book were tested through our coaching organization, from giving feedback from our coaching clients, who are some of the top clients in the industry. And so the book is literally a combination of not only my experiences, but also our clients' experiences, the marketplace, all that into one powerful book. And so through the book is using it as coaching. It's not only been a part from the beginning, but it's also been a huge part in growing our coaching organization.
Can we expect another book from you?
Absolutely. In fact, I've got 2 other books already done, mind mapped, and nearly completed. So I'm not in a huge hurry to launch my next book, which is called Easy Money, Mastering the Art of Sales and Persuasion. There's going to be 75 lessons of selling that I've learned in there. So that's the next book that I'm writing. And then the third book is called American Self-Made, how anybody can succeed against all odds. And so that book's written for more of the universal entrepreneur, if you will, right? So like people not just in real estate, but all entrepreneurs. And that book is actually packed full of my own personal lessons that I've learned from being self-employed my whole life.
Nice. Well, I'm sure your readers are very excited to and will anticipate the release of them. So in your coaching business, you typically work with not only real estate agents, but you also work with small business owners. Do you find that the agent and the business owners seem to struggle with the same problems?
Absolutely, because the real estate agent, the mortgage professional is a business owner. And so it's real important that we don't look at it like we're different than a business owner. A business owner looks at it like they're different. So we're really all in the same business. Business is typically the same. We all typically have the same challenges. And so in our coaching business, our mantra is we help entrepreneurs build better businesses. So we want every agent to look at themselves as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. And that's step one, right? Again, changing the way they think about themselves, changing how they're thinking. And so with that, what we do is once we change their thinking, here's what happens next. Then they have the struggle. Well, what's the struggle? Well, marketing, right? I'll give you an example. One of the biggest struggles that business owners face now is marketing, online marketing, from Facebook ads to direct mail. The media has changed so much in the last 5 years that every business owner has been scrambling to figure out where to put their marketing dollars. What's the most effective place to put your marketing dollars? And so in that sense, I believe that not only the real estate agents have a challenge with that, but also the business owners do too. And Alicia, one of the things that we do is we have power days where every week I have somebody that flew in from around the country that comes into our office for a day. And we spend all day with them and their team, and they spend all day with my team. And so together we have a collaborative experience that we implement and execute the most fundamental things in online marketing. And that's been a tremendous value that we've provided people. People literally leave here mind blown, going, I cannot believe what I just discovered. What you've just done for me is mind blowing. And that's one of the things that I love to do is I love to transfer that knowledge into somebody's business, teach them how to use it, but help them execute it. Because that's one of the biggest challenges that if you're a business owner or a real estate agent, execution is one of the biggest challenges that you face.
Yeah, definitely. And well, first of all, I think taking action.
You know, the key to taking action, and I explain this in the book, is it's mindset models massive action. So if you have the right mindset, you have models to follow, and you believe in that model. You believe in it. You follow that model. It's easier to take massive action. And so let's say if a listener's struggling with massive action and they're not taking enough action, I'm going to look at 2 things. Number one, what's your mindset? How are you thinking? What's your current thinking? You know, is it positive? Is it negative? Is it abundant? Is it scarcity? How are we thinking? And then 2 is what's the model that you can follow, the model that best suits you based on your strengths, weaknesses, that will inspire you to take massive action implementing and executing that model. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, definitely.
We help them change the way they think and then provide the models for the business owner to follow. And it's easier for them to take massive action when you have those things.
Makes sense. So do you use the same tools of, the business owner and the real estate agent? And if not, is there a different approach for each client?
You know, one of the things in real estate that is, I would say, more advanced than most businesses is the lead generation, lead conversion mechanisms of the business. So if you imagine in real estate, it moves at like light speed. It's so fast. Everything's happening so fast. And as an agent, they're unemployed every 90 days. So being unemployed every 90 days, they got to go out there and get the next listing, get the next buyer in the car. And so this has to happen all the time. And so if you imagine an agent that's been in business 20 years, they've been hunting for 20 years for business, going to get the next deal, the next transaction. And what that does is, I know for us, the industry demands us to be on our game to help them be cutting edge in how they go about lead generation. and help them with the scripts, the tools, the conversion strategies to help them convert the leads that they're generating. And I think that the other businesses outside of real estate can learn a lot about lead generation, lead conversion if they study the real estate business, because we are so advanced because the industry demands it, and vice versa. I think that the real estate agent can learn a lot from a successful business owner. One of the great business minds, Jay Abraham, says that you take lessons from outside of your business and you bring them into your industry, then great things happen. And I believe that as well. We can learn a lot from each other. And one thing's for sure is it's a fast-paced game, and looking for those models to follow is huge. So I believe, Alicia, that every business owner, that's their biggest struggle, is lead generation, lead conversion, getting new business.
I agree completely. So tell me this. So when you do work with your clients, what do you expect from them?
To be committed to the process, to have realistic expectations, to do the work on a daily basis with the right attitude. And if they do those things, then we can make them successful. We have the models to follow, and if they follow them, they'll be successful. So my expectations of them is to do the work. And if they do the work, the results will come. I know every agent's different. I know some agents, quick story, when I first moved to Dallas, I had to get a job because I was getting licensed as a real estate agent. And I had a friend of mine that at the time that was working in Chicago as a door-to-door salesman working for a company up there. I call him up. I say, "Hey, Luke, it's Hosss." Hey, he goes, "Hey, Hosss." I'm like, "Hey, what's the name of that company that you work for?" He told me the name of the company. He goes, "Hey, they have an office in Dallas." I was like, "Awesome." He goes, "I can get you a job." And he got me the job. And so I became a door-to-door salesman. And I went door to door, knocked 100 doors every day, every door, every floor. What that taught me is it taught me sales. It taught me mindset for sure, because knocking on 100 doors a day, I mean, let's face it, that's a challenge, right? So it taught me how to think and how to have a top producing mindset every day. And so I became the top door-to-door salesman in the country with that company with my buddy Luke. We both did. And so I took the lessons from when I went door to door. I brought them into real estate. And I looked at the real estate business, and this is one of the reasons that I was successful when I started. I looked at the real estate business. I say, okay, I have a strength. My strength is I'm relentless. I'll do the work. I'll knock the doors. I'll make the phone calls. And so, and I get into real estate, and I say, well, where can I apply those strengths to this industry? I started calling FSBOs and expireds. FSBOs are for sale by owners, people out there in the marketplace that want to sell their home on their own. And expired listings are listings that one agent had that failed to sell, then the listing expires. And so I started targeting these two niches. And every day I would show up at the office. I was the first one at the office every day, the last one to leave, uphill, snow, both ways, right? That type of thing. And so I would call, I'd make 200 phone calls a day. From 9 to noon, every day I was on the phone. And that's why I was successful. It developed skill sets in me through that process that nobody could take away. It gave me people to call, right? Meaning I could do work. I could have a niche that I could dominate. And so what I expect in agents is that you got to do the work and don't avoid the work. Most people in real estate, not my clients, of course, but that's not a process that they enjoy, right? They don't like showing up at the office and having to pick up the phone to make calls, but that's the fastest way, the best way to put signs in the ground. So I would expect everybody to push themselves beyond their limits and then realize that that process is one that, for me, I didn't know I would become a best-selling author when I was calling FSBOs or when I was knocking on the doors. I didn't know that, but that road led to where I am today. And there's a lot of lessons there. And that's what that's what my passion is helping agents learn from those lessons.
That actually is going to bring me right to the next question, which is, what should an agent or a business owner expect from working with you?
Results. They should expect results. And so when an agent works with us, one of the things that they love is the fact that not only do we have an amazing community of like-minded thinkers, of action takers, but we have, I've got, for 10 years, I've been doing this, and I have so much content and training to equip an agent to succeed. People love it. They love the library of training that we have. They love our workshops that we have, the way that our team, how we implement them and how we execute them. One of the things that we do is, and I believe is crucial, is immersion, right? Immersion is an important part of success. Success requires you to get on airplanes too. And so we have workshops, and one of the things that we do is we'll have people come in for 2 days, and we'll do workshops, and we'll give them all the the marketing pieces, the tools, the checklist, everything that they're missing, right? They come in and they get everything that they want in a couple of days. And for our listeners, I would look at any business owner. And one of the things for me, I know that got me to the next level always, whatever the next level was taking action and following a model and buying speed. Those are all lessons that every business owner can follow. To buy speed, right? What does that mean? Well, coaching buys speed, right? Going to a workshop and learning from somebody that's already done it buys speed. And I find that the most successful, my friends and people I've seen succeed, or my clients that I've seen succeed, every single one of them has bought speed. There's so many people out there that can help you. Who are they? Who are those people? Who are the people, the next level people that know what you need to know to get to the next level? I call them gap closers, right? The people that you're here, you want to be there. Surround yourself with the people that are where you want to be. I know for me, like I just, got off the phone with my coach mentor yesterday. He's in Success Magazine every single month. He's amazing. He's a gap closer. He pours into me. He's just like Jimbo was when I moved to Dallas, having that mentor pour into me, right? And those people are so important on your journey. And I want to also tell our listeners this, a lot of times people go, well, where's my mentor? Where's my Jimbo? Where's my Tony? And they're looking out here for a mentor, somebody to take them to the next level. And I want to encourage them, as long as you're taking action, you're taking the right action, those people will come into your life. You don't need to go find them. They will show up. And so having a good mentor as a gap closer is priceless. So just keep doing the work and those people will come into your life.
And how long do you work with your clients?
If I look at all of our clients, some of the people we've worked with I've worked with for 10 years. I've personally coached one-on-one some of my clients anywhere from 5 to 10 years. They've been with me since the beginning. I don't know if I could fire them if I wanted to. I talk to them every week for 5 years. I've talked to them. I've taken them from, one gal was a brand new school teacher. She wanted to get into real estate. So she goes, gets a license, and somebody goes, hey, you need to hire Hosss to coach you. I coach her. She hires me, and she became the number one agent in her market in a year and a half. I still coach her, and we're expanding across the country. So there's people like that come in that are always going to be around, and we are their gap closers at every level they are. And then there's the other people that come in for maybe 6 months. Maybe they just want a quick fix, to quick up some tools to be able to grow, and they spend 6 months with us. That's powerful as well. Everybody has a different need. Typically, most people, they need the constant attention, right? The constant coaching, the constant reminders, and one of the things that I've learned personally in coaching my clients as well, let's say if I talk to you once a week, right? I'm coaching you and I'm talking to you once a week or every 2 weeks. You're not just talking to your coach once a week or every 2 weeks. What happens is it's a special relationship, and that coach is literally on your shoulders throughout the week, in your ear, talking to you. You're bouncing ideas off of your coach throughout the week. You're thinking about your coach throughout the week. I just had a guy yesterday. He goes, I'm getting a bracelet. I think about it every day. What would Hosss do? I think every day, what would Hosss do? I have a challenge. What would Hosss do? And that's an example of what I'm saying is a powerful coaching relationship is one that carries with you throughout the day. I'm in my client's head every day. Right now, clients are thinking of me and how I would be coaching them. And that's something that I think that people don't understand initially in coaching. But once they get in, they realize that. And sometimes people, back to your original question, how long? It just depends. I know for me, I'm coached all the time because I was always told to have a coach, right? And it's always been instrumental to me. So I would encourage everybody to always have a coach, regardless, and but be committed to the process. And if you're going to work with me, I would ask for at least a 6-month commitment in order to work with us. They'll be a client as long as we continue to provide value to them.
Of course. If it's working, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Absolutely.
Can you clear up maybe some myths or misconceptions that people have when working with a coach such as yourself?
Yeah, I'm a contributor to Forbes magazine, and just yesterday I was writing an article for them. The question came up. I was working with a team member, and the question came up, Hosss, what is the biggest mistake that a coach can make with a coaching client? And that was the question. I was like, and I paused and I thought, wow, that is such a great question. Initially, I didn't know how to answer it because I wanted to, or how to articulate it. But it came to me. And the biggest mistake that a coach can make with a coaching client is by leading the coaching client towards the coach's vision versus the coaching client's vision. As a coach, we are here to help the coaching client, the client get to where they want to be. Their vision and their purpose is not my vision and purpose in most cases. And so I think for us, it's important to, when somebody comes on, that they're not going after Hoss's vision. They need to be clear with what their vision is. And then we will help lead them to their vision. And I think that's probably one of the most important misconceptions of coaching, one of the biggest challenges that most coaches have to overcome. Now, one of the biggest myths on coaching is that I'm going to make you successful. I'm not going to make you successful. And I tell every client that your success is your responsibility. This is your business. This is your life. It's not anybody else's. So the ownership of success is one that has to happen. If anybody's going to succeed, they have to fully 100% own it. Just like I did when I sold my business and I moved here and didn't know anybody. Nobody helped me through that process. Nobody was here. I had to fully own it. I was on my own completely. And through that ownership and through that experience, people grow. And they'll grow into the person that they have to become. And so if you're hiring a coach, I would tell you, don't hire the coach. If you hire the coach, don't think the coach is going to make you successful. You are going to make yourself successful, but that coach will be there as a tool, as a model to help you on the journey. And I think that that's one of the biggest myths or misconceptions in coaching is that it's a big one.
Okay, so then tell me this. What sets you aside from the rest of the coaches in the industry? It's a pretty competitive market.
We are the best at putting models together in the industry. That's what we do different. And most coaching organizations, they don't have the products or the systems. They just have the coaching. Well, back to the original thought, what are they coaching to? And so what we have is we have models. Before I wrote Listing Boss, I created Listing Boss was an information product training system online that has been, sold for years in the industry. There's thousands and thousands of clients around the country with that system. And that system it's a success system. So what separates us is we have the actual systems for people to follow, and then we coach to those systems. And most people in the industry don't have the system. And this is to people who want to be a coach, right? There's people listening that they want to be a coach. And I'm going to tell those people, then what are you going to coach to? Go develop your system, your process, your methodology first, and then build that. And then you coach to that. And so that's one thing we've done really well over the years is I've got over 14 online training systems. And so for us, our value proposition, what we do differently is we put those models together, easily accessible, easy to follow. All you got to do is follow what I say, step by step by step by step. That's one of the biggest feedbacks of Listing Boss that people love about it is the fact that it's step by step by step by step. And I think any successful coaching organization needs to have that system that is step by step by step.
All right, Hosss, I have one more question for you, and this is probably the most important question, and especially for any business owner or real estate agent out there. If somebody wanted to get a hold of you for your services, how would they go about doing that?
Call me, email me, come by anyway. Just get a hold of us. Let us talk to you. Let us help you. Let us see where you are. Let us see where you want to be. Let's help you get clear with that, like crystal clear. And we'll tell you what we can do to help you close that gap. So for sure, reach out. For anybody listening to this, they're obviously seeking. The finding is reserved for the seekers. So don't stop, right? Take the next step. Pick up the phone and call us. My direct line here at my office is 214-919-5321. 214-919-5321. Shoot me an email, personal email, Hosss@hosspratt.com. It's HOSS @HOSSPRATT.com. And check out our website at HOSSPRATT.com, HossPratt.com.
Great. Well, Hosss, first of all, I want to say congratulations on the book and the huge success. I love what you're doing for real estate agents and business owners and how you lay it all out there. This was a great interview, and I really want to tell you that I appreciate your time today.
Thank you so much, Alicia. It means the world to me, and thank you for our listeners, and I hope it made a difference today.
Definitely. All right, guys, you just heard from Hosss Pratt, #1 international best-selling author for the book, The Listing Boss. Go out and get it. And this is your host, Alicia Debrell from Insight Media. Until next time.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.